The Twins just 4 hits last time out, and Pat, it was a different approach. Romero used a lot of fastballs against Minnesota. How does that affect the way he attacks Tampa Bay tonight?
Well, the Blue Jays felt like Ricky Romero was becoming very predictable, especially when he got to 2 strikes. Curveball, changeup to pick up the strikes. This is his last start against Tampa back on April the 24th. He had 10 strikeouts. Notice all the pitches, a lot of breaking balls. Well, what they wanted him to do against Minnesota, more fastballs. Get the extension out there and use your fastball a little bit more so you don't become predictable. It certainly worked as he struck out 8 batters pitching into the 9th inning. Romero tonight will be facing a team. We'll see if he keeps up that pattern, throwing more fastballs.
Joe Maddon is well aware that Ricky Romero handles right-handed batters very effectively. He's not as effective against lefties, so with that, Maddon has 4 left-handers and a switch hitter in the lineup. How does Ricky Romero attack the lefty hitters tonight?
Well, Joe Maddon says he plays up well against some of our right-handed batters, and that's because he's got the great changeup, and he'll use that against the right-handers. That's why they are hitting just 206 versus them. The left-handers, he's got 4 of them in the lineup tonight. I think what he's going to have to do is use his fastball, and then his curveball, I think, is going to be very important for Romero tonight.
Ricky Romero trying to even his career record to 3-3 against Tampa Bay. They will split the 2-game series. Romero is their ace. He needs a good game tonight against the league-leading Tampa Bay Rays. Jamie? Ricky Romero will go to the mound tonight for the Blue Jays, trying to even this series at a game apiece, a short 2-game series. Ricky Romero, back on April 2nd, met a family. Tim and Shannon Martin brought their triplets down to the ballpark on April 2nd. This is the family, and in the middle is Riley James Martin. And Riley James would have turned 3 in July. He passed away with his battle with leukemia. J.P. Arencibia also out, made Riley feel pretty special back on April 2nd. And Ricky Romero tonight is going to dedicate this game to the memory of Riley James Martin. And he and J.P. Arencibia will acknowledge that with initials on Arencibia's glove. And Ricky Romero is going to draw initials in the back of the mound before he starts this game tonight. Take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays lineup now. Joe Madden has gotten his team into first place, 25-18 for Tampa Bay. They're 2 games ahead in the East. Zobrist, Damon, and Longoria, top 3 in the order. Matt Joyce with a 2-run home run last night is in the cleanup spot. B.J. Upton, Dan Johnson, Sean Rodriguez. Reed Brignac gets the start at shortstop, but Kelly Shopek is behind the plate tonight.
That is the lineup that Ricky Romero will face tonight. Romero was scratched from his last start against the Rays, but since then he has pitched some very solid baseball, trying to even his record at 4-4. Very good earned run average at .335. This is his 9th start of the season. He picked up that 3rd win his last time out at Minnesota. That was on May the 13th. Came within 1 out of a shutout. 8 2/3 innings, just 4 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. He had a very good fastball that day.
Ricky Romero is using that fastball very effectively, and he's always had a wicked changeup, and that's what Bruce Walton said early in the season. He leaned heavily on that, but Romero tonight will try to go out and establish that fastball early in the ball game, and he is going to do his best to get this team off on the right foot early in this ball game. So you can see him now pausing and drawing the initials RJM in that back of the mound in honor of Riley James Martin. So Romero's set. Ben Zobrist steps in. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's a strike and a fastball.
The only mistake that Ricky Romero made the last time he faced this team was to Ben Zobrist. Lost that game 2-0, and it was Zobrist with a 2-run home run that won it for him.
Ball and a strike. It was an 0-2 pitch, and Romero tried to crowd Zobrist with a fastball. Didn't get it inside. Zobrist hit it out of the ballpark. That was the only run of the ball game. He was up against James Shields, who pitched a complete game shutout.
Other than that, he was sensational. A walk and 10 punch outs, which is a season high for Romero.
It'll be interesting to watch Tampa Bay and how they react. The last time they saw Romero, as Pat pointed out, there was a lot of breaking balls, a lot of changeups, and early on he's used his fastball.
Very balanced lineup that Joe Madden sends out here tonight. 4 right-handers, 4 left-handers, and a switch hitter. He also has a switch hitter and 3 lefties on the bench. So lots of options tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Joe Madden has used 35 different batting orders, and that's by design. He's got some versatile players and switch hitters, as you mentioned, Pat, and he will platoon in a lot of different positions, but he keeps everybody on the bench as sharp as possible. They all feel like regular players.
They were just talking the other day that Elliott Johnson was going to be doing most of the play at shortstop, but he is on the bench tonight.
On the ground, Escobar tossed the diamond to Juan Rivera. 1 out.
Defensively for the Blue Jays, and they need a better night with the gloves than they had in last night's game. Patterson, Davis, and Bautista in the outfield. Around the infield, Jason Nix with a great play in last night's game. Escobar, Aaron Hill, and Juan Rivera will get his first start since last October the 1st. Just his 11th start of his career at first base.
The Jays committed 5 errors last night. Edwin Encarnacion had a rough night at first base. Seemed like every tough ball was hit to him at first, and he was charged with 2 errors. 1 out, Johnny Damon. Another fastball. This one's upstairs. Johnny Damon hitting the third spot last night. He was 2 for 4 with a walk. Back out of play. Romero had a good fastball last time out, upwards of 94, 95 miles an hour, and that's a little bit more fastball than we've ever seen from Ricky Romero on a consistent basis.
Yeah, the gun at the ballpark at Target Field said 96 and 97, and that's the one that we had on our screen. And when I went to John Farrell the next day to talk to him about that, he said, no, that was a little bit high. He said, we chart every one of the games ourselves, and we have our own gun, and the top number that he saw was 95 miles an hour, which makes a little bit more sense.
Another ground ball. This one right to the second baseman. 2 quick outs for Romero in the first. Oh, it was a tough game defensively for the Blue Jays last night, as we mentioned. They kicked it around and threw it around, and this really got out of hand. It really turned out to be the difference in the ball game, of course, when the ball game turned out to be a 6-5 loss. Blue Jays scored a run in the ninth.
Bautista was charged with an error when his throw to second base hit the bag and ricocheted away. Jesse Litch charged with a couple of errors himself, and wouldn't you know it, the team would come back and have a chance to tie and maybe win the game later in the contest.
Third baseman Evan Longoria. For a good movement on that fastball. A little bit of a cutting action down and in. Longoria is still struggling to get his timing. He was on the disabled list for most of April with a strained oblique muscle. Romero continues to use that fastball here in the first inning.
When you use your fastball like he is doing now, one of the things that the Blue Jays have seen from him over his last couple of starts is he's getting better extension. And by that I mean he gets out in front and he lets go of the ball out in front of him. A lot of times you'll see pitchers when they are throwing a lot of breaking balls, they start casting and the ball starts coming from back behind their head. When you extend, you get the ball out front, keep your hand behind it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Grounded, foul at third. Nix into foul territory. When you talk about Ricky Romero reaching out, what do you mean about casting out and how he can get extension with his fastball?
Well, the fastball, you want to get out here and just explode towards home plate. A lot of times when you throw a lot of breaking balls, you start bringing it this way and you're not staying on top of it. But when you throw a lot of fastball, you're out here, you got your hand behind the ball and you're going right to home plate. That's what the Blue Jays have seen from Romero's last couple of times out.
Trying to create more break than extension, and Romero's fastball was a good one tonight. Another 2-2 pitch. Just missed the inside corner, full count. Another foul, this time up into the seats. Ricky Romero is surely a sponge in that he wants to get better and better all the time. He's not going to settle for anything, and when Bruce Walton has a suggestion, he's certainly open to making adjustments.
A lot of young pitchers like that on this staff.
Got it. Save the best for last. Use that good changeup down and away, and strikes out Longoria. A good 1-2-3 first inning for Ricky Romero. Late movement does the trick. from Lynn. Lynn will probably be a few more days than expected, maybe another 8 to 10 days before he's back. 21-21 for the season. The Blue Jays lineup: Escobar, Patterson, Bautista, top of the order. Aaron Hill in the cleanup spot, starting to swing the bat with a little more authority. Rivera, Aaron Sevilla, Eric Thames with his first major league hit last night. Tajay Davis and Jason Nix round out the Blue Jays lineup, and they're set to take on Wade Davis.
9th start of the season for Wade Davis. Just 25 years old. Big and strong.
Yunel Escobar, 0 for 4 in last night's game. Goes after the first pitch and drives it to right, but that'll hang up. Ben Zobrist is there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Zobrist in right field tonight as we take a look at Wade Davis on the mound. His stats aren't bad, but it's been inconsistency that has hurt him so far this year with his command and velocity. He is facing the Jays for the 2nd time this season, 5th time in his career. He is 2-1 with a .260 earned run average in 4 starts. Davis, too, has been making some changes in between his last few starts.
Corey Patterson looks at a fastball. Patterson extended his hit streak to 9 games last night. He went 2 for 5. Bunts this ball up the first baseline. The first baseman, Dan Johnson, comes and gets it, and Patterson's an easy out. So that'll bring Jose Bautista to the plate. Bautista 1 for 2 last night. 2 walks, including 1 intentional walk. That came in the 7th inning. Bautista at that time represented the tying run. First pitch fastball.
They also had first base occupied, as you see the shift now that Tampa Bay will use with nobody on base and Jose at the plate.
Breaking ball high and deep, but it's going to hang up in center field. B.J. Upton is there, and he makes the catch. Quick inning for Wade Davis. Just 5 pitches. A 1-2-3 first. We've played an inning here at Rogers on a perfect night for baseball. It's scoreless.
Scouting report is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's got the full complement of pitches. All of them. The fastball, the slider, the changeup. He'll cut the fastball a little bit more, and he's going to be throwing a few more of those fastballs. We certainly saw that in the first inning, the better extension. And one other thing that Romero, when he has to pitch.
There's a bouncing ball. Rivera will go to the bag and retire. Joyce.
When Ricky Romero is facing the Bostons and the New Yorks and the Tampa Bays, it's almost like he has to go to his go-to pitch so many times because they really work over the lineup. And that's one of the things that they're trying to get away from, is don't always try to become predictable when you get the 2 strikes. Don't use your changeup all the time. Don't use the curveball all the time.
B.J. Upton takes a fastball for a strike. When you face those big powerhouse teams, the Red Sox and the Yankees, the tendency is to go to your best pitch every time because there's so many good hitters in that lineup.
Especially when you get to 2 strikes or you're in a big situation where you need a strikeout. Romero would go to those pitches, and he was becoming very predictable.
Ahead of Upton, 0-2. That was an emergency swing. Upton really just fighting it off, trying to stay alive. Late cut on a fastball.
His last 2 swings were emergency hacks. It looks like he's sitting on a breaking ball. All the scouting reports say he's going to throw you a curveball or he's going to throw you a changeup with 2 strikes.
Grounded off the glove of Nix into left field. Romero came back with the fastball and Upton hit it into hole at third.
You know, not a bad idea, especially when a guy is fouling the ball off the way he was and the way he was swinging, but he just couldn't get it in there. That ball is up and it's over the middle of the plate. You see J.P. Arencibia slide to the inside, but it's just not in enough.
Nix got a piece of it, but he couldn't come up with it cleanly. It's a 1-out hit for B.J. Upton. Romero's got to keep an eye on Upton. Very good base stealer. First pitch to Dan Johnson's a strike. Johnson hitting just 120. And it's been a struggle for him all year long, but in an effort to get as many left-handed bats in the lineup, Johnson gets the call at first.
His first start since at first base since May the 6th.
Broken bat, grounder to second. Second for the force out, back to first in time. What a good double play. Aaron Hill stayed with it. He had the barrel of that bat coming toward him at second, but maintained his focus. Went to shortstop for Escobar, back to first. An inning-ending double play erases the base hit. Slow developing, but Johnson doesn't run that well.
Off the bat of Aaron Hill, 4 doubles in his last 5 games, and when you watch him, he's got more hard contact. That's the one thing that we have seen from him. And when you're going well the way Aaron Hill is, you're not chasing balls out of the strike zone. When he gets antsy and anxious at the plate, he's swinging at pitches all over the zone. He's making them come to him now.
First pitch strike with the fastball. Aaron Hill looks much freer at the plate. He was tied up early on trying to generate bat speed, and that basically slowed his swing down. Now he feels like he can get the barrel of the bat to the ball. The adjustments are subtle ones, Pat, but you recognized it right away how it might impact him.
Yeah, it freed up his whole upper body. He had been working with Dwayne Murphy about
correcting some flaws that he felt in his swing to help him get the ball out in front a little bit more.
That ball is driven toward the gap in right center. Zobrist over and runs it down. First out of the second.
Almost had another extra base hit, but that time it hung up there a little bit too long. Wade Davis will take the mound. Let's take a look at the scouting report for the big right-hander. Pitch, not throw. That's the important thing for him. He's got a very good arm, and he tends to rear back and just throw. He needs to pitch a little bit more. Less is better. He can throw the ball at 95 miles an hour, which isn't bad, but he's better at 91 or 92. And he has to go directly towards home plate. He tends to fall off towards first base a lot. That's one of the things is you see him fall off toward first that he has been working on. They've been taking the two-seam fastball away from him. He said he's going to use more four-seam fastballs tonight to help his command.
Juan Rivera hitting in the 5th spot tonight. Well, you talk about Ricky Romero using that fastball to get extension. Wade Davis is trying to accomplish the same thing by eliminating his two-seam fastball.
You know, I think he'll still throw it. He just won't throw it as many times as he has in the last few games. His last 4 starts, he's had at least 3 walks in every one of them. 2 starts ago, he had 5 base on balls. So he has been working with Hickey, the pitching coach for the Rays, and one of the things they are doing is they're going to throw less two-seam fastballs.
3-1 pitch. Drilled toward left field. Matt Joyce on the run. He's not going to get it. It's off the top of the fence and out of here. Home run, Juan Rivera. He just reached out and flicked his wrist at that fastball and drove it off the top of the wall in left field.
They have been having trouble getting the barrel of the bat out in front. Pitcher will supply the power. You just have to get the barrel of the bat going, get it out in front, and he doinks it right off the top of that scoreboard in left field for his 3rd home run.
And a 1-0 lead for the Jays and Ricky Romero. JP Arancibia. Well, Rivera has been struggling, and it's got to be a great feeling for him to get a home run in his first at bat. Again, the mentor talking about movement. Big hop for Reed Brignac. JP Arancibia is retired. 2 down here in the second.
Designated hitter number 46, Eric Thames.
That's Eric Thames' mother, Phyllis Dawkins. She flew in today, arrived in Toronto at 4 o'clock, and got a chance to say hi to Eric before the game started.
What a thrill, huh? Come and watch your son play in the big leagues.
Well, if she's got half the enthusiasm of Eric, I know she's having a blast.
Boy, he's an upbeat kid.
Earlier before the game, that's the first time Eric got a chance to see his mom when she arrived at the ballpark. Eric was born in Santa Clara, California. See his numbers from AAA Las Vegas. Breaking ball, he lays off. One thing we have seen with Thames going all the way back to spring training, he's got a good eye, good strike zone recognition.
He's got good hands, very strong hands, and when he checks his swing, he's able to lay off some of those tougher pitches. He gets it going, and when that bat is flying through the strike zone, the ball really jumps off of his bat.
He looks like one of those guys that's only going to get better and better. You see his numbers, 27 home runs last year, 6 in the early going in AAA. Off the outside corner. There's that good eye we were talking about. Boy, that's a big battle for a rookie, is not wanting to chase everything you see. He was red hot when he got the call to come to the big leagues.
3 home runs, 12 RBIs in his last 10.
Pops this one up. Johnson over near the seats, and it'll drift back out of play. his first game yesterday, and first major league swing was a big one. We talked about that. Might have been the hardest first swing we've ever seen, but then he got his first major league hit, drove in a run.
A little bit more controlled in that at bat as he took that pitch down and away from him, and the game's the same. Just see it and hit it and use your tools.
Breaking ball gets him. Davis comes with a breaking ball for strike 3. But the Blue Jays get on the board. Juan Rivera, a one-out home run right off the top of the wall in left field. It's 1-0 Jays after 2. But I think he kind of tired out that second round.
Look at you behind the plate, just framing like you did when you were playing.
That's the only thing I could do effectively. I caught a little bit. Zani threw, and Zani, of course, Zani went to spring training, so he should have been able to hit. But it was a great turnout, and a lot of money was raised for the wonderful Jays Care Foundation, and that took place early this morning. A home run contest. Sean Rodriguez bounces it to third. Vicks on the run, makes a good throw. One out here in the third.
Made a great play in last night's game to Jason Nix to start a double play at the end of the first inning. This play, a difficult play. He is in with Rodriguez, and he's going to take the backhand. Doesn't have time to set his feet. Nice little play by Nix. He's got the ability to play third base and second base. That's a very rare combination for infielder.
Quite a different set of skills that you need at third base. Everything is really reactionary. Reed Brignac, the shortstop, looks at a high pitch. Been a real struggle for Brignac this season. They had hoped that he would be the everyday shortstop, but he's off to a slow start with the bat. Brignac was first in line to replace Jason Bartlett after the veteran shortstop was traded to San Diego. Elliott Johnson has come on with the bat of late, and he's going to get some more playing time, according to the manager, Joe Maddon. There's a strike, 2-1.
The team has had some holes in their lineup offensively. That's why they have been having to scratch and claw for some runs. Brignac has struggled, a 102 average during his past 14 games. The combination of Johnson's better bat has got him into the lineup a little bit longer.
Sam Fuld is on the bench tonight as well, the left-handed bat. Elliott Johnson, a switch hitter. They have some interchangeable parts, and Joe Maddon is quick to use them.
And he's very good at using his bench. He doesn't let guys rot on that bench and get out of their timing. He knows he's going to need all 25 of his men. He's got to use them to play and try and keep them sharp.
And you do that, and you make everybody feel good by making sure they play a lot. We mentioned 35 different batting orders for Joe Maddon.
popped up. Again, this one will reach the seats. Joe Madden has to mix and match, and he has to have athletes that can do a lot of different things because they don't have the deep pockets, a high salary. Of course, they lost Carl Crawford to free agency. Carlos Pena left with free agency. A lot of offensive weapons, and they have to mix and match, and combination of guys will fill the void.
Key word in that statement that you just made is athletic players. The pitch there, they have to be able to do something other than bring one thing to the table. You can't be just a strong man and try and hit home runs, or you can't just be a fast guy. You got to be able to do multiple things on the field to help your ball club.
Full count, 1 out. We are in the 3rd inning. Let me pop back out of play.
Well, Tampa Bay got off to a terrible start, 1-8 on April 10th, but you see what they've done since 24-10, and the reason they've turned things around, you don't have to look any farther than the ERA.
Great starting pitching. They can send a starter out there every single night to give them a chance to win the ball game.
Brignac's putting up quite a fight here against Ricky Romero.
When you talk about Tampa Bay's turnaround, their starters have gone 7 or more innings 21 times this season. That's second in the major leagues to the Oakland Athletics.
It just makes things so much easier for the manager to manage the last part of the game with his relief corps.
This ball is going to be playable. Corey Patterson over near the wall, and it's not playable. It sliced out of play. Corey Patterson stayed with it, thought he had a beat on it. May have jammed his hand up against that fence.
Looked like it was going to be right down the left field line. But now as that ball falls into the stands, 10 pitches Lou Brignac has now seen at the plate. He's fouled off 5 of them.
Well, again, this is that bad matchup for Ricky Romero. Left-handers hit 258 against him. Right-handers just over 200. That's why Madden has gone with Brignac in this lineup tonight.
Challenging him with fastballs also. He doesn't want to walk him.
Took something off that pitch, and Brignac checking with the umpire to see whether or not it was a good pitch, and he put up a battle, but in the end it was Ricky Romero getting the strikeout.
And he said, okay, enough of the fastballs. I'm going to take something off here. This is just 88 miles an hour, but good late life to it. He will pick up his 2nd strikeout.
Kelly Shopik, the catcher, batting in the 9th spot. 1-0 Blue Jays. Juan Rivera with his 3rd home run of the season. Kelly Shopik breaks his bat. That ball's down the left field line and hooks foul. Well, Shopik got sawed off, left just with the handle.
Looked just like Johnson, who ended the 2nd inning by shattering his bat into a double play. Good fastball that he can get in there. It's a bad feeling when you swing the bat and all you're left with is the handle.
Kelly Shopik turned 31 years old at the end of April. This is his 2nd season with Tampa Bay. Signed with Boston, went to Cleveland, and now here in Tampa Bay. Jose Bautista. He's a couple of steps back. He's there. Camps under it. A 1-2-3 3rd inning for Ricky Romero. He's gone 1 through 9 for 3 innings. It's 1-0 Blue Jays.
to you tonight. Henderson Alvarez has just been promoted from Dunedin to Double-A New Hampshire. He's a right-handed pitcher. He will make his Double-A debut tomorrow night. A.J. Jimenez is a catcher. 441 over his last 9 games. He's hitting .367 for the season, which leads the Blue Jays minor leagues. And Chad Jenkins, former #1 pick. Last 5 starts, he's been very good. Just 6 walks, 21 strikeouts. He is an A-ball. Alex Anthopoulos is very pleased with the development of some of his young players in the minors. There's a little bouncing ball into center field. Rajay Davis with the leadoff base hit. A little blooper in front of Ben Zobrist in right center.
Got things started in last night's game with a double in the 9th inning. And now singles in his first at bat here tonight. Hit it into no man's land. B.J. Upton broke back initially on that ball, so he wasn't going to catch it. Zobrist runs it down, and Davis on first base. And I'm sure he's not going to be there long.
Wade Davis very good at keeping runners close at first. Kelly Shopik has thrown very well. 45% of the base stealers caught by Shopik. Jason Nix takes a first pitch strike. Nix just his 2nd game since coming off the disabled list. He was injured on April 22nd in a game against Tampa Bay. Taken out at second on a hard slide by Sean Rodriguez. A hard but clean slide for sure. Pop up into shallow left field. Matt Joyce on the run. He gets there and makes the catch. Davis scampers back to first. Matt Joyce making just his 4th start in left field. He plays right field most nights, but with Romero on the mound and his being left-handed, Joe Madden wanted the extra bat in the lineup, so he puts Joyce in left.
And he came up with the defensive play in last night's game that really saved the game for him in right field after they intentionally walked Jose Bautista with the runners on. Aaron Hill hit a ball down the right field line, and he came a long way to make a catch. Dave Martinez had just moved him into the gap in right center field, so made the play a little bit tougher for him.
That was in the 7th inning with 2 outs, and certainly saved him 1, maybe 2 runs. Back to the top of the order, Yunel Escobar. Just a little courtesy call throw, not the good move from Davis.
A good percentage steals. Blue Jays want to get at least 75% of their steal attempts. Davis had about 80.
There he goes. Pitch up and away. Shopik makes a good throw. Davis stopped. He's in a rundown now. Runs away from Johnson, but is tagged out by Sean Rodriguez at second. Escobar looking back at the bench as if he may have missed a sign.
I think that Davis quick pitched Yunel Escobar, and it was a quasi pitch out. You can see how far out that the catcher Kelly Shopik is sitting, almost like a pitch out. And Davis at the last second recognized that, stopped, got caught in the rundown, and it'll go as a caught stealing.
He certainly had a steal jump in my mind. Didn't look like a hit and run jump. He broke as soon as Davis made the first move. So there are 2 outs now. Escobar bounces it to third. Longoria on the short hop. Quick inning for Wade Davis and the Rays. Just 6 pitches for the big right-hander. He's doing exactly what Madden wanted. He's economical. against him. Rajai Davis got a pretty good jump, but he snuffed out the pitch out.
Yeah, it was a pitch out. Watch the catcher give the universal sign, the fist, and he slides to the outside part of the plate, and it's a good throw from Davis. It's quick, and it's right up around his shoulders, and it's an easy play for the catcher to get the caught stealing.
Chopik didn't take the normal approach, stepping out on the pitch out, but it was very effective. Back to the top of the order for the Rays. Ben Zobrist hitting leadoff tonight, grounded to short his first time up. Blue Jays lead 1-0.
Zobrist can hit at that top of that lineup. He has reached base via walker hit in his past 23 games. Very good on base percentage for Ben Zobrist.
Curveball, shortstop Escobar. Easy play. Tell you what, Yunel Escobar has become kind of boring, and that was the goal of the Blue Jays. They wanted to take all the flash away from Escobar, and he is playing as steady as any shortstop in baseball.
The flash still comes out there when he needs to make those sensational plays, either in the hole or behind second base. But you're right, they wanted him to become a very boring shortstop, make all the plays, play catch with the first baseman, no flash, just get the job done.
You hit it to shortstop and you're out. He has been that consistent. Johnny Damon grounded to second.
I was talking with John Farrell today, and we were talking about Johnny Damon. He says, boy, he can still hit. And he said another thing, he really works over pitchers. Look at this, he's in a 2-0 count again. 3-0. He said all those years in Boston and New York taught him how to really grind out at bats.
And he's hit in many different places in the lineup too. Johnny Damon started out in the Kansas City organization, signed with the Royals. And at the time, the Royals were doing a heck of a job of developing players. They had Johnny Damon and Carlos Beltran in the outfield. Grounded to first. Rivera will take it and go to the bag. 2 outs. Boy, Romero's doing a good job of keeping the ball on the ground. Juan Rivera making the start at first base tonight. His first start for the Blue Jays at first, and only his 12th career start at first base.
Played some games last year for the Los Angeles Angels when Kendry Morales was hurt in that freak play at the plate. He was the first baseman who took over for him.
Third baseman Evan Longoria struck out his first time up. Isn't it amazing how a pitcher like Romero could find a new weapon here, middle of the season? And it's one that's pretty good, the fastball.
I can tell that is taking some of these Ray hitters by surprise, all the fastballs that he's throwing.
Well, how would that affect you as a hitter, knowing that he's got the best changeup on the Blue Jays staff? He also has a very good cutter and a changeup. How would you approach it?
What do you look for when you get the 2 strikes? Do you look for the changeup and he crosses you up and throws a fastball? When a pitcher is unpredictable like that, you don't know what to sit on.
Well, one thing that this is a great learning experience for J.P. Arencibia, because now he can really read the bats of the Rays hitters, see what they're thinking of and where they're making contact. Longoria is really off his timing. Romero's done a good job against him early on.
Keeping the ball down, in.
2-2, 2 outs. Curveball, strike 3. Longoria didn't know what to look for, and in the end he's caught looking. 2 strikeouts for Longoria. Jose Bautista will bat second. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. celebration at the 2011 MasterCard Memorial Cup from Mississauga, Ontario. It all starts tomorrow, May 20th. First game will be St. John's versus Mississauga. MasterCard Memorial Cup right here on Rogers Sportsnet. A perfect night for open-air baseball at Rogers Center. CN Tower covered with blue sky. Been kind of a cloudy afternoon all day long, and now it's evening rolls in. The clouds have gone away. Corey Patterson takes a first pitch curveball from Wade Davis. Sharply hit to the shortstop. Brignac behind second. Strong throw, one out. Jose Bautista with 16 home runs, and he has been very consistent. When you look at the number of at-bats since the last home run, Bautista, it's just been 10 at-bats. Some other notable sluggers have had longer droughts. Adrian Gonzalez, Ryan Braun, Miguel Cabrera, almost 50 at-bats since he's homered. Toronto's own Joey Votto, 63 at-bats. How about Albert Pujols? I mean, that's a real head-scratcher. 88 at-bats since his last home run.
Where have all the homers gone for Albert? They've been pitching him inside and up and in very frequently. But Jose Bautista, it's been a whole 10 at-bats before we've called a home run for him.
Come on, Jose, what's going on?
Every team that comes in here is just amazed. Joe Madden was talking about Bautista, how hard he swings, but then that ability to lay off those tough pitches.
Curveball inside, 2 balls and a strike. And you can bet Jim Hickey and Joe Madden have had many conversations about how they're going to approach Jose Bautista.
Well, the first thing they hope for is nobody on base.
Made a mistake there. Got away with one. They were trying to go outside, and Wade Davis missed inside. Big numbers against the Rays this season, including 3 homers. That's why in last night's game, when Bautista represented the tying run in the 7th, he was given the intentional walk. Again, he missed all the way off the plate inside, trying to go away. Bautista's been great in this ballpark. Look at his OPS, 1.651. Breaking ball. Hit to the shortstop. Brignac bobbles it. Still has time to throw out Bautista.
Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Aaron Hill flied to right his first time up. Hill hasn't hit a home run in 28 games. His last home run came on September 29th last year. Spent some time on a disabled list with the hamstring problem, but it's been 114 at bats since he's gone deep.
Still have to maintain a good approach at the plate. That's a good two-seamer there. Maintain that good attitude and good approach at the plate. Don't think about hitting home runs. Think about trying to hit the ball hard, and I think that's when good things are going to happen.
0-2, 2 outs. Breaking ball just down and away.
You think about trying to hit home runs, and now you're going out of the strike zone, and your swing gets a little bit longer. You don't even feel it. It just happens. Start uppercutting up on balls. Just concentrate on hitting the ball hard, and good things will happen.
Your former teammate George Brett, the Hall of Famer, always said, don't try to hit it far, try to hit it hard. If you hit it hard and square, it'll go far.
That's a perfect approach, I think, at the plate.
2-2. Pop this one up. Shallow left field. Brignac backing up. Now Joyce coming on. Calls him off. The left fielder makes the catch. A quick inning. A 1-2-3-4th inning. It's 1-0 Blue Jays. Now it's time for an update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zaun at the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. 2011 MLB All-Star Game. It'll take place July 12th in Phoenix, Arizona. Vote for your favorite Blue Jay players: Jose Bautista, Yunel Escobar, and Adam Lind. Cast your vote at BlueJays.com. Fans are allowed to vote a maximum of 25 times per email address. Vote early, vote often. Vote for your Blue Jays. Pat Joyce takes a strike first pitch here in the 5th inning. It's a 1-0 ball game. Ricky Romero and Wade Davis hooked up in a good one. Only 3 hits in the game so far. Popped up into center field. Rajai Davis to his right is there. Joyce is retired. Pat, oftentimes, and you've seen this over the years, how younger pitchers getting started in their major league career think they've got to trick major league hitters to get them out. They can't throw them pitches that they think the hitter might be looking for, and we've seen it twice in a row now with Ricky Romero. It doesn't make any difference as long as you locate.
Make quality pitches. One pitcher, I think, who is starting to figure that out on the Blue Jays, at least talking to Bruce Walton, Kyle Drabek, starting to figure that out. Brandon Morrow, we watched him last year get that idea with his great stuff, but you have to throw it in the strike zone. Romero, too, is just attacking.
B.J. Upton drives it towards center field. Davis at the wall, at the track. Home run, B.J. Upton. Got extension on a ball on the outer half and drove it off the facing of the seats in center. Home run number 7 for Upton.
RBI number 27 for B.J. Upton. Dead low ball hitter. When he gets his timing right and he gets his foot down, that bat can come through there very quickly, and he hit the ball out of any ballpark. This one hits the facing of that first deck and back onto play.
So we are tied at 1. Couple of solo home runs in the ball game. Dan Johnson backs up from an inside fastball. B.J. Upton 2 for 2 tonight with his 7th home run. Johnson rips it, but it hooks foul.
It's been a struggle for Dan Johnson at the plate. You see his average down to 118. He has hit for an average of 120, which is second lowest in the major leagues. He hasn't had a hit since April the 27th. That's how it's been for this big first baseman.
Johnson started out with the Oakland Athletics. He was a 7th round pick in 2001. Made it to the big leagues in 2005, played in 109 games. Then he spent a year in Japan in 2009. Spent some time with Tampa Bay the last couple of years before he went to Japan. He spent 10 games in the big leagues with Tampa Bay.
This was the player who came to Boston, right, and they weren't even sure his name, and he came off the bench and hit a big pinch hit home run for him.
Yep. Got to the ballpark after the game had already started. Down to third on the appeal. Mike DeMiro rings up Johnson, and Romero has the strikeout.
Save during the lawn and garden sale only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Here's the check swing by Johnson, and on the appeal, Mike DeMiro, the third base umpire, said he went around. So Romero has 4 strikeouts. Sean Rodriguez takes a first pitch strike. Here's another guy that you would expect to be hitting more than 179.
Playing mostly against left-handers. 1 home run, 8 RBIs for Sean Rodriguez. Robbed of a hit his last time up by Jason Nix at third base. No problem versus the left-handers this year. Rodriguez hitting .357. It's the righties that have given him trouble.
Just hasn't done much against right-handed pitching, just 106.
1 and 2, 2 outs.
hit off the end of the bat and foul. Sean Rodriguez was acquired from the Angels in the Scott Kazmir deal. And they probably had their choice between Brandon Wood and Sean Rodriguez, and Joe Madden knew them both, having come from the Angels. 2-2. Ricky Romero has allowed just 2 hits, and they've both been by B.J. Upton. The second one went out of the ballpark. Just missed that inside corner. Full count. Two-out walk to Sean Rodriguez.
You know what Ricky is so mad about is he really wanted to finish off that inning, especially when he got ahead of him 2 strikes. Tried to put a little bit too much on those pitches, and then he came out of his pitch fundamentals. He also wanted Reed Brignac to lead off next inning. He didn't want to face him with 2 outs.
Left-handed batter in the 8th spot. Managing the lineup. Sean Rodriguez at first. Now Aaron Seavey is not going to waste any time. He knows Ricky was frustrated by that 2-out walk.
Yeah, trying to finish off the inning too quickly. Gave up the home run. He struck out Johnson. He had 2 strikes on Rodriguez, and then it looked like he wanted to rush things a little bit, get the ball and go a little bit too quick. This is just a talk to say, okay, let's take a deep breath. Let's slow the game back down. And get back down to that strike zone.
Sean Rodriguez is a good base runner, not necessarily a good base stealer. He's just 2 for 3. But going first to third, scoring from second on base hits, he gets good reads off the bat. Ricky Romero with that step-off snap throw almost handcuffed Rivera.
Rodriguez is very schooled in the fundamentals of baseball. His steal percentage is very good in his career. Might not have the straight burner speed to steal bases, but if they want him to steal, he might delay steal. See if he can catch one of the middle infielders napping.
Aaron Seavey thought about a snap throw to first, but when he came up, Brignac was in the line of fire. On-time third base coach Tom Foley going through the signs. Foley's been a member of the organization since it began. Three-0. This is where Romero, after the walk to Sean Rodriguez, now is falling behind the number 8 hitter. There's a strike.
Tim Welke, the home plate umpire, telling Reed Brignac, the hitter, that it got the corner. No tricks now. Got to throw him a fastball.
And he did. Threw it right by him. Full count, 2 outs. Rivera will play behind the runner at first. He now has let Ricky Romero know that. So with a full count and 2 outs, Rodriguez will be off on the pitch. There he goes. Strike 3 call. Romero comes all the way back and strikes out Reed Brignac after falling behind 3-0. It'll be Juan Rivera, who's already homered, JP Arencibia, and the rookie Eric Thames with his mom Phyllis in the house. It's a 1-1 game, middle of the 5th. Baseball Canada. And you can see a big schedule of camps across Canada. Vancouver, London, Ottawa, Toronto, all have been sold out. Basically from June 27th through the rest of the summer, there's a camp every weekend, and we are now pleased to be joined by one of the instructors of the camp and one of the big motivators behind this camp, Dwayne Ward. And Dwayne, you must be very pleased with the number of camps that you guys have put together this year.
Well, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised with it because of the fact of, you know, we first started out going to do 4, and then it went to 7. Now it's at 10. So, and you're seeing the numbers that we're getting right now coming in. That, you know, 4 of the camps are sold out, and I'm really looking forward to getting the summer underway.
Talk about how you rounded up all the former Blue Jays as instructors.
Well, you know, I'm going to hit you guys up here in the off season. I saw you guys hacking today at you know, the Jays Care Foundation Home Run Derby thing. I'm going to get you guys out there this winter and have you guys instructed. But no, I just put a call out to guys, and they basically said, absolutely, you know, I'll do whatever you need us to. And so I've had great response from all the former players.
What is the basis of the backing of this, and who does it benefit?
Well, this is going to benefit all the young baseball players of Canada. And you know, when I approached the Blue Jays about doing this, they you know, they welcomed it with open arms, and then we got, you know, Honda on board with it, and also Baseball Canada. So we've been really fortunate with everybody just jumping on board with this and giving all their support and all their blessing.
What was the genesis of this? I mean, how did this whole thing start, and why?
Well, you know, it was a kind of a brainchild of mine to basically say, I want to give back to these kids. I want to give back to the country of Canada for everybody that, you know, supported me as a player and supported you and Buck and everybody else. And I said, how better way can we do this? We hear you guys every night on TV talking about how guys are fielding, how guys are hitting. Now we got some instructors that can go out there and explain what you guys are talking about on the field.
Eric Thames with a base hit into right field. J.P. Arancibia singled. He'll stop at second. So it's first and second, 1 out after the line drive. So talk about the age group of the kids that can attend camp. What kind of age group are you looking at?
Well, we're looking at, you know, our primary target, and it's been all the camps that I've done and camps that, you know, I think, you know, the Jays have done on the weekend stuff. Biggest target is probably going to be 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old kids. We'll get the 8, 9-year-olds, and we'll get a few of the older kids. But the thing is to try to get these kids to thinking outside of the box, learn a little bit more about the game of baseball, but also do it in a manner where it could be a Pat Tabler or a Buck Martinez or Dwayne Ward instructing you, trying to teach you a little bit.
Tell me some of the players that you've rounded up, and I know you've been, you know, you've been on the phone a lot. And then tell us what a typical day is going to be like.
Okay, first and foremost, we got Robbie Alomar, we got Tom Hinkie, we got Tony Fernandez, we got John Olerud, we got Rance Mulliniks, we got Mark Eichhorn, we got Lloyd Mosby, we got Alex Gonzalez, we got Candy Maldonado, we got Juan Guzman. we got, you know, the list goes on. Denny Boucher with Baseball Canada, the instructor. We got Paul Quantrill's been in and out on the thing. You know, his schedule's kind of busy. But myself, we got trying to think of who else here real quick off the top of my head.
I asked you if you found Borders, and you can't find him.
Can't find him. He's hidden somewhere. But you know, we got 18 different guys that we're going to have 4 different instructors plus Baseball Canada's instructors there, and I think it's going to be something great for these kids to be a part of. And
Rajay Davis, third base, Longoria back to first. A nifty double play turned by the Tampa Bay Rays, and it's a 1-1 game after 5, and you're going to stick around for a minute?
Yeah, I'll stick around for a minute. Absolutely, guys.
All right, Dwayne Ward will join us when we come back. It's a 1-1 ball game here after 5. Bush, Denny Boucher, and Grant Smolniks. For more information and where to sign up, log on to BlueJays.com/camps. And Dwayne Ward is with us now. And Dwayne, when you talk about some of these guys you mentioned, who do you believe to be the best instructor that you have? You got a lot of talented guys that could all play well, but how do they break down as instructors?
Well, I think that's where, I think Robbie's going to add something really special to it, for the fact that this guy was so God-given with his ability that, he can translate this into the little kid saying, hey, this is something I worked on as a little kid, and it just made me better. And that's something that, you growing up, me growing up, probably two different areas, but I was never exposed to stuff like that. Now we get a chance to give this to the kids back to where we can expose them to, a little bit more intricate way of hitting a baseball. And Tabby asked me that question earlier about, what we're going to teach her. We're going to teach the base running, fundamentals, and probably get a little bit more intricate with the older kids. Same thing with the hitting, the fielding, and the pitching is where we're going to try to, simplify it to these kids to where it is going to enable them to get better and also apply what we teach them and not make it to where it's so complex.
The ground ball to third. Chopek is retired. You're going to teach him that hard slider you threw?
Oh, I tell you what, if a kid has one, I'm definitely going to write his name down and give it to the Blue Jays in Baseball Canada. Say this kid's got a piece right here.
Do some scouting on top of some.
Well, you know what? That's something we can also add out there, for the Blue Jays. For all these former players to get around there and see some of these older kids and see if there is some talent there that Baseball Canada might look at or the Blue Jays might look at. But that's just another side part of it. But we're more focused on wanting to teach these kids, the grassroots baseball, get back to giving back to the fans and to the people of Canada, and hopefully 4 or 5 years, don't be surprised if we don't see a kid getting drafted that attended these camps.
Thanks to you, right? I've talked to you in the past about one of the things that you really think is very important with young kids is pitching fundamentals, throwing the ball the right way. Do you think that's going to be something you're really going to hone in on?
Oh, yeah. Well, we will definitely push the fact of, kids, there's a lot of kids nowadays are really getting around the baseball. We want to get these kids behind the baseball to where they can actually force the ball, and get through the catcher instead of just to the catcher. And these are just some of the small points. And as far as the hitting side, I always tell people, well, what are we going to teach on the hitting? That's where we're bringing the hitters in, because the only thing I knew about it was I knew how to get it out.
Yeah.
So I'll let the hitters teach the hitting side of it.
Well, I'm still looking for my invitation, Dwayne, if you want everybody to hit.
I'll tell you what, you think I'm kidding, Buck. I got your card, and I'm going to call you for this winter or this spring. You guys are going to come out and help me out at some of these camps and help the Blue Jays out in Baseball Canada.
Well, Dwayne, it's not surprising you are enthusiastic about it. I know how much you love baseball and how much you love your time in Canada. We want to wish you nothing but the best, and thank you very much for sharing your information with us, and we'll look forward to those great clinics all summer long.
And thank you guys for putting this out there and letting kids know. And like I said, we got 4 of them are sold out, and the 2 or 3 other ones are coming close. So BlueJays.com/camps, and you guys can get registered.
Good job, Mordo, and good luck, and always great to see you.
Thanks, Bucky. Thanks, Tabby.
See you, big man. Take care.
Johnny Damon batting with 2 outs. Damon 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out twice. It's a 1-1 ball game here. 6th inning.
Buck, if Wardo wasn't so passionate, I think the camps would be okay. I think he likes what he's doing.
I agree with that. Always one of the most passionate baseball players ever played with. Johnny Damon bounces it through the infield into right. A 2-out base hit for Damon.
He can still do it. He's going to end up with 3,000 hits at some point in his career in a couple of seasons. Takes that 2-strike pitch from Romero and just pokes it through the right side for his first hit. Just the 3rd hit of the night for the Rays.
B.J. Upton has 2. Johnny Damon has the other. Now it's the number 3 hitter, Evan Longoria, and he's been on the wrong page against Ricky Romero all night long. A couple of strikeouts. One swinging, one's looking. Pitch outside.
He has pitched Longoria tough. Throwing him breaking balls when Longoria's looking for the fastball. Struck him out the 1st inning swinging, got him in the 4th inning taking.
Way outside. Romero kind of spun out of his delivery there and just flipped it off the plate outside. Ricky's done a good job tonight using his fastball. Now you get in the situation. Does Longoria switch and look off speed? They bounce that ball in the dirt. That's the one challenge a hitter has now. Romero has established fastball. Do you stick with that as a hitter, or do you try to guess with him from this point forward?
I think you guess with him, or you try and get into hitting counts. Wouldn't be surprised if Longoria has a free shot here.
3-0. A 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. First and second, 2 down.
We saw this happen last inning after Ricky Romero got a couple of outs, struggled to finish off the inning. J.P. and CB had to go out there and talk to him, settle him down. Now with a couple of outs, 2 base runners.
Well, left-handed batter Matt Joyce will step in. Joyce is just 3 for 18 against lefty pitching this year. And you can see he's wearing out right-handers. 391 clip. That results in that 359 batting average.
One of those 3 hits this year, a home run versus the left-handers.
Boy, Romero's all of a sudden lost the strike zone, and he's going to get a visit from J.P. Arencibia.
Stay closed. Drive towards home plate. That's what he was doing first part of this game. Right now, it looks like he wants to rush through it.
One thing you have to remember with his pitching staff, John Farrell's staff is young. Ricky Romero is just in his 3rd season. And you try to compare him to the Red Sox, the Yankees, these veteran starters even of Tampa Bay. They're young, but they're experienced. There's cuts on a fastball. It's 1-1.
Especially that Tampa Bay staff. They have really put together a streak of starts by some of their young starters under the age of 30.
The breaking ball got away from him again. There's that casting you were talking about early in the game, how he's kind of trying to make it break instead of finishing it out in front.
Yeah, extension. Get out in front and get that arm behind the ball and finish your pitches.
Just off the plate. When you're all over the place, you're not going to get those borderline strikes. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs, 2 on. It's a 1-1 game here in the 6th.
Joyce has been swinging a hot bat. He homered in last night's game. He's now driven in 9 runs in his last 9 games.
Full count. Johnny Damon single with 1 out. He's at second. And then the Longoria walk. 2 on, 2 outs, full count. Runners will be off on Romero's pitch. Driven to right. Bautista has a beat on it. He'll come in a few steps. Romero gets out of it. Tampa Bay strands a pair here in the 6th through 5.5. It's a 1-1 game. Yankees against Jeremy Guthrie. And boy, it's been a battle for Guthrie. He's 1-6 so far this year and is finding himself behind early in that ball game. Well, they played 15 innings last night and the Yankees won. Jason Nix goes after the first pitch, pops it up behind the mound, and the shortstop Brignac is there. One pitch, one out. Tampa Bay has a young pitching staff. Take a look at this. The consecutive starts made by a pitching staff with all the pitchers under 30. Tonight it goes to 646, and with this start tonight, the Rays will match the 70 to 74 Expos for the third longest streak of its kind since 1900. The Blue Jays are second with 145.
That's the good news. They're second, but they're 500 consecutive starts behind, having a game started by someone under 30 years old. Everybody compares the Blue Jays' young pitchers with Tampa Bay's. I don't think that's fair. They've got a very big head start on them.
Line drive left field. Joyce got a late break, but he's there in time to recover. Escobar hit it right on the nose.
One thing that those three are learning about is controlling a game, throwing few pitches, and you can go deep into the game. We saw Jeremy Hellickson in last night's game very efficient early, and we are also seeing Wade Davis, how efficient he is. We are now in the 6th inning, Buck, and he's only thrown 51 pitches.
Yeah, that's an ideal number and a magical number for a pitching coach. See your pitcher as strong as Davis, that economical, and he's throwing quality strikes all night long.
Well, they said they're going to use his four-seam fastball a little bit more, so his command and velocity is a little bit better, and we're certainly seeing that.
You know, one thing I was always surprised at, and Jim Hickey is an excellent pitching coach. He had a great staff in Houston before he came here to Tampa Bay, but I'm surprised nobody has ever taken a Greg Maddux video and go, here, throw like this. Corey Patterson, a sharp single into left. Okay, now here's the challenge. A 1-1 game, 2 outs. Jose Bautista steps to the plate. Similar situation last night. Joe Madden walked him in the 6th.
Walked him in the 6th as the tying run. That's why I don't think Patterson will try and steal, because if he does, then they're just taking the bat out of his hand. But they might try and pitch around him, throwing pitches off the plate.
Wade Davis has thrown first pitch strikes to the last 11 straight batters. Big swing, he got under it. Matt Joyce comes in, makes the catch. Bautista got a pretty good pitch to hit. It took Wade Davis just 6 pitches to get through the 6th. Ricky Romero pitching, matching Wade Davis pitch for pitch. It's a 1-1 ball game after 6 here at Rogers Center. TD, the TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Great front row seats in a good pitcher's duel here tonight at Rogers Center. A 1-1 ball game. Ricky Romero and Wade Davis. his starting pitchers. B.J. Upton has been a problem for Romero. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He has 2 of the 3 Tampa Bay hits. His solo home run came in the 5th. That tied it at 1-1.
He can really run and a threat to steal, so it's imperative to keep him off the bases.
It's another high fly ball. This one's about medium depth in center. Davis is there, and Upton's retired for the first time tonight.
Save during the lawn and garden sale, only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Ricky Romero went 8 2/3 innings his last time out against Minnesota. He only threw 101 pitches. Looks like he still has something left in his tank.
I think throwing more fastballs will do that for you. Build up some arm strength. Keep that pitch count down. The 8 strikeouts were the third time. It's the third time that he has done that this year. He's now right at 100 for this game.
Romero's high on the season was 113. That came at Seattle on the 12th of April. This is skied into right field. Bautista coming in. Johnson's retired. 2 outs in the 7th. Bruce Walton's formula for success for his starting pitchers: 7 innings, 105 pitches. Ricky Romero is closing in on that.
All right, he's got 4 pitches to get an out here, and he'll be all over that. Just 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
Sean Rodriguez. First pitch changeup misses downstairs. What would you rather watch? An 8-7 game or a 1-1 game in the 8th?
I'll watch the 8-7 game on Monday and the 1-1 game on Tuesday. How about that? I like them both. You know, pitchers' duels are great too because you get to see the other side of the game.
Big bouncing ball to third. Hicks with a strong arm. Good inning for Ricky Romero. He gets to 103 pitches, uses just 9 here in the 7th. We are tied at 1. In the bottom of the 7th here in a 1-1 ball game. Aaron Hill goes after the first pitch. Well, I tell you what, you talk about economical. Wade Davis, the Rays starter tonight, threw 5 in the first, threw 6 pitches in the third, 7 pitches in the fifth, and 6 pitches in the sixth. He's thrown 56 pitches.
Look at that. Not even averaging in double figures per inning pitched.
Now, this speaks to the philosophy of your hitters. Is Wade Davis forcing your hand, or are the hitters too impatient?
I think he's forcing their hand because it doesn't do any good, I think, to go up there and take a couple of pitches to see if you can get on base and make him work. He's just too good tonight, throwing just about everything for a strike and staying out of the middle of the plate.
Ball is drilled into center field. E.J. Upton with those long strides gets over in the gap and makes the catch. Just short of the warning track.
Casey Kochman has come in for a defensive replacement for Dan Johnson. He's one of the better fielders really in all of baseball. The Major League first baseman in fielding percentage is each of his first 3 years in the big leagues. So Joe Madden puts his best gloves on the field.
Juan Rivera has driven in the only Blue Jays run. It came in his first at bat in the second inning. A 1-out solo home run. His 3rd home run of the season. Rivera did not start in last night's game. He is playing first base tonight. Breaking ball just around the inside corner. Fouled off. Davis has allowed only 5 home runs this year. And this was the 5th one back in the second.
It was down, and Juan Rivera is a good low ball, fastball hitter. Went down, dug that one out, and got it right off the top of the wall. Bounced out for a home run.
Wade Davis gave up 2 home runs in his last start against Baltimore. He gave up 1 to Jake Fox and 1 to Mark Reynolds in back-to-back innings. He fell behind 4-0. Left-hander Mark Zipchinski is throwing for the Blue Jays. Left-handed batter Reed Brignac will be the first hitter scheduled in the top of the 8th inning for Tampa Bay. Rivera takes the walk. Ball gets away from Shopik, but Rivera will stop at first.
Let's get him a run. If they've got a guy warming up right now, chances are Romero's night is finished. We'll see. Let's figure out a way to get a run for him. Blue Jays have had trouble scoring when Ricky's on the mound.
You've heard that a million times as a player. When you have a starter throwing a good ball game, you come in after that half inning and say, okay, come on, he's doing everything he needs to do. Let's get him a run. JP Arancibia had a single to left his last time up. Drills it to center field. Upton is back, and he's going to watch it sail away. Off the windows, high above center field, and there's Romero's 2 runs. Home run number 7 for JP Arancibia.
He's got some natural power in that bat. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to pull the ball to hit home runs. He can hit them to dead center field. Breaking ball over the middle of the plate. He doesn't try to overswing. He just drives the ball to center field. They have nothing they can do about that one as it lands out of play.
2 home runs in each of the last 2 games for Wade Davis. Eric Thames fights off the inside pitch. Boy, J.P. Arancibia was talking about forcing things at the plate. I said, hey, you're having such good at bats. Don't try to force anything. And sure enough, 2 hits tonight and a go-ahead 2-run homer.
Went right to his hitting coach, Dwayne Murphy, and sat down and talked about it. They had long discussions today behind the batting cage about his approach at the plate.
Dwayne Murphy hears everybody's ideas and thoughts and tries to sort through them and give the hitter just one thing to focus on each night. Thames fouls it off. Eric Thames with hits in each of his first 2 big league games. Again, showing a good eye.
He's got a good idea at the plate. Recognizes pitches a little early. Didn't even offer at that.
He takes the walk. Good at bat. A 2-out walk issued by Davis, and Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, will come out and try to help out his young right-hander.
And the whole infield is going to come in, and they're going to talk about defensive placement now. Davis was so good. He walked the batter, then gave up the home run to Arancibia, and then walked Thames.
See during the lawn and garden sale, only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Joe Madden has seen Wade Davis have trouble with the bottom part of his opposition's lineup. 7, 8, and 9 this year have hit .322 against Wade Davis, and that's not unusual for a young pitcher. They'll focus on the top part of the order, the meat of the order, and then think, okay, I made it through that rough spot, and then they'll ease off the pedal, and it costs them.
Especially if you're pitching in the American League East, where the lineups are very long and good hitters all the way up and down the lineup.
A throw from Davis. Thames had 3 steals in 5 attempts in AAA. With that home run, J.P. Arancibia is now tied with Rod Barajas of the Dodgers and Russell Martin of the Yankees for the most home runs in the big leagues by a catcher. So I would say the rookie's off to a pretty good start.
On a very nice pace.
Joe Madden knows that you come into this ballpark, it's always going to be a tightly contested battle.
This is the 8th game this year between these 2 teams, Tampa and Toronto, and every one of them have been decided by 2 runs or less. It's going to go right down to the wire every single night these 2 teams get together.
Quick tag by Kochman as they tried to sell it to Andy Fletcher, the first base umpire. Davis had a single in his first at bat, hit into a double play in his second at bat.
I feel like he is spending a lot of time worrying about Thames over at first base.
Yeah, when he shouldn't. I mean, Thames isn't a base stealing threat. He's not going to run in this situation, I don't think. And now Davis has himself in a 3-0 hole.
I saw that sign from John Farrell. You might let him go ahead and swing away.
There's the 4-pitch walk. Three walks in the inning. Just one out. Nobody is throwing in the bullpen.
That's why you see the sign from Dave Martinez, the bench coach, to one of the infielders to go in and talk to their starter. And very quickly they get a reliever up and throwing in the bullpen. Was cruising right along until the 7th inning. A walk, a home run, and then 2 more walks.
Again, the bottom part of the lineup. Davis has had problems at the bottom of the order. Brandon Gomes loosening up in a hurry. Blue Jays saw Gomes make his major league debut down in St. Petersburg. One out here in the 7th. Davis is a different pitcher all inning long. Much more deliberate, taking much more time. Last inning he threw just 6 pitches and got through the inning.
As soon as Eric Thames got on the base, he started paying a lot of attention to him. That time nobody at second base, and he bluffed like he was going to try and pick him off.
Dick's doing a good job of waiting Davis out. Big runs on base. Blue Jays have taken a 2-run lead here on J.P. Aronsebia's 2-run home run, his 7th. Throwing just 6 pitches in the 6th inning, Wade Davis has had the labor here in the 7th. Off speed pitch. Nix was out in front. Jim Hickey checking on the status of Brandon Gomes. Shouldn't take him long to get loose. Strike 3 call outside corner with a fastball, and Nix is caught looking. Big strikeout for Wade Davis.
Kept picking out that outside corner against Jason Nix, and then finally gets the call from home plate umpire Tim Welke. Borderline on the black.
Only the 2nd strikeout for Wade Davis. Escobar will try to deliver a 2-out hit. Davis all of a sudden is back in the strike zone. Eric Thames walked with 1 out. He's at second. Rajai Davis walked right behind him. Nix struck out. Now there are 2 down. Escobar. Off speed pitch. He was out in front of 1-2.
One of the things that Wade Davis wanted to do in this start here is be aggressive, pitch inside just a little bit more, keep people off balance a little bit more. And I think he's done that. He has really attacked the Blue Jays tonight. think that home run shook him up a little bit, then walked the next two batters, but he seems to be back into it.
Escobar laid off that high fastball. Davis had done a good job all year long keeping the ball in the ballpark until last start. He gave up 2 home runs in his last start against Baltimore. 2 more here tonight. Breaking ball bounced to short. On the run. Kochman is there. Escobar's retired. Blue Jays strand a couple. But they have taken the lead here in the 7th. J.P. Arancibia, the catcher, goes deep to center field. A 2-run homer. His 7th of the season. Blue Jays lead it 3-1. His last good start against Minnesota with another good one here tonight.
Yeah, he had 10 strikeouts against Tampa last month, and he followed that up with a very good outing here. 7 innings, a couple of walks, but 6 strikeouts. A different Ricky Romero, but the same effectiveness right here. 7 innings, he just gave up the 1 earned run. That was the home run by B.J. Upton, 104 pitches, so he will give way to Mark Zebchinski out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Zebchinski has been sensational so far this year.
He'll face the pinch hitter. Elliott Johnson comes off the bench. He's batting for Reed Brignac, the shortstop. Great start to his season. Zebchinski, 11 hits in 18 2/3.
20 appearances, now 21, which leads the team.
Bouncing ball. Nix was in front of the bag, and Mitchell's strong throw. First down of the 8th inning. Boy, what a pleasant surprise Mark Zebchinski has been. He came to camp in competition for one of the spots in the rotation. And once that was determined that he wasn't going to be in the rotation, they moved him to the bullpen. And John Farrell told him at that time, listen, this is not a demotion. We just think you're more valuable to us at this time working out of the bullpen. And he truly has been.
I think he noticed right away what a weapon that he would be down in the bullpen with his starter's background. So his ability to go deep, but also his ability to throw breaking balls when he's behind in the count. Throw it at any time.
Well, John Farrell knows pitching. He was the Red Sox pitching coach for 4 years, and he recognized that breaking ball and how devastating it could be. And Zebchinski has lived up to the expectations.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Come in, throw strikes, make them hit you to beat you. He's only given up 1 extra base hit all season long.
Zebchinski was the winning pitcher the last time these two teams met here in this ballpark. April 22nd, John McDonald hit the walk-off home run off Adam Russell. Made a winner of Zebchinski.
Well, he's picked up some velocity on his fastball. He knows he's going to pitch probably just an inning at a time, so he can turn that fastball loose.
Yeah, let it go. He's got 92, 93 with good movement. He also has a breaking ball. Another thing I like about him when he comes in, he doesn't waste any time. Here it is. Let's see you hit yourself on.
Bautista turns his back to the infield. This ball is carrying. This ball is gone. Kelly Shopik with an opposite field a home run. His second home run of the season, and he has turned this into a one-run ball game.
Just his second home run of the season for Shopik. Hit 21 a few years ago with Cleveland. Looked like a fly ball, like it was off the end of the bat. Fastball down and away, and the ball just kept carrying.
You mentioned the extra base hits. That's just the second extra base hit that Zemchinski has allowed. Top of the order now. Ben Zobrist. Zobrist is 0 for 3. Zobrist pops it out of play. You know who's had a dramatic impact on Mark Zemchinski? John Roush. They are catch partners at the start of the day. They go out, loosen up together, and throw. And Roush has talked to Zemchinski about consistency. He said, I'm not concerned about your velocity. I don't care how hard you throw. I want you to make consistently good pitches. This is popped in the air. Bautista comes over, calls for it, and he's there, makes the catch. Now it's time for an update. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Boy, that is right. We haven't heard an awful lot of Jason Giambi, and
Joe Blanton made that start for Philadelphia, so with the right-hander on the mound, Giambi gets the call. And has he responded?
Saw him the other day come in and strike out as a pinch hitter.
Johnny Damon shows bunt, takes the ball outside, 1-1. Two down, top of the 8th inning. Tampa Bay has closed it to a run. Way back. Johnny Damon got fooled on that pitch.
Looking for the heater, and he got the breaking ball. Snaps it away from him. He's faced him 6 times. He's had a couple of hits off of Zemchinski.
This is outside, 2-2. For a couple of teams that are good at manufacturing runs, all the runs tonight have come on the home run. Tampa Bay with 2 solo home runs. Blue Jays have 2 home runs, a solo shot by Juan Rivera and a 2-run home run by J.P. Arancibia.
Running game hasn't had anything to do with tonight's game for either one of these teams. No stolen bases for either one of them.
Broken bat on the ground. Hill comes after it in time to get Damon. Zemchinski gives up a home run. The Blue Jays have a 1-run lead. Now it's time for an update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn at the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. redefining luxury.
And it was a long drive by J.P. Arancibia. Thanks to him, a breaking ball deep to center field. Home run number 7. With the Blue Jays ahead 3-1 at the time. Arancibia can hit the ball out of any part of the ballpark.
3-2 ball game. J.P. Arancibia, number 7. He has now tied Rod Barajas and Russell Martin for most home runs by a major league catcher. Corey Patterson went after the first pitch, and he pops up to the third baseman. Breaking ball for a strike. Good curveball.
Just missed hitting a ball hard as last time out. Skied one to left field.
Another big swing and a foul at home plate. Bautista has yet to extend his hit streak. He came into this ball game with a 9-game hit streak, 15 for 37. So far tonight, 0 for 3. Waved at. He strikes out on 3 pitches. So Wade Davis has bounced back, retiring the first 2 here in the 8th inning.
You don't see this very often from Bautista, the way he has been seeing the ball. Guessing another pitch. It looks like Davis changed up on him.
Haven't seen too many changeups from Wade Davis tonight. Aaron Hill. Breaking ball is high. Wade Davis has thrown just 92 pitches. Really, the only problem he had came in the 7th inning. He had 3 walks and a 2-run homer.
I think that home run rattled him for a little bit. Took him a while to get back into the strike zone. Walked the next 2 batters.
3-0 strike. Joe Madden's ball club won last night's game 6-5. They trail 3-2. They will fly to Miami for interleague play after this game. Curveball, isn't it?
Never leave the Eastern time zone. They're going to put in over 4,000 miles the next week or so.
3 games in Miami, back to Detroit. Hill takes a walk, comes with 2 outs. We'll be right back here tomorrow night. The first game of interleague play 2011. JoJo Reyes will go to the mound. Action starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. That'll be the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zorn. The Jays on Sportsnet. Houston and the Blue Jays, a 3-game weekend series tomorrow night, will be on Sportsnet 1. 2 outs. Juan Rivera has homered, flied out, and walked. I love the way Joe Madden trusts his starters. Leaves them in the ball game. It's a 1-run game. Fatigue is not a factor.
Hasn't even thrown 100 pitches yet. Giving his starter every chance to finish this one off.
Off-speed pitch. Rivera was out in front. Theoretically, your best pitchers on your team are your starters. So you want them to pitch the most.
He's big and strong, and he has been in command tonight. Just the 3 runs given up, a couple of home runs. Blue Jays looking to try and steal a run here. An extra run heading into the 9th wouldn't be a bad idea.
And catches the inside corner. Kind of a delayed call from Tim Wilkie.
Backup breaking ball. They wanted it to go away, but it just freezes on the inside part of the plate. Rivera doesn't think it's a strike.
Base hit into left field. That ball has got a chance to go to the gap. Hill goes around second. He's headed for third. He's getting away. Johnson stopped as Hill was around third, and Elliott Johnson, the shortstop, had no idea that Hill was breaking for home. Rivera picks up his second hit.
That's absolutely right. He wasn't sure where he was going to go with the ball. Brian Butterfield was bringing Aaron Hill. He was bringing him around, hoping that the throw was off target a little bit. Watch the route that Joyce has to take to cut the ball off, get it to his shortstop, and watch what Johnson does when he picks the ball up. He's looking around and then has to throw behind Hill. I think they would have been able to steal a run if they kept bringing him. He's got his head down. Here he comes, looks up, and right there he puts the brakes on.
See Butterfield waving him around, and then when he sees the throw to the cutoff man, he throws up a late stop sign. But the cutoff man, Elliott Johnson, had no idea where to make the throw. Wade Davis is knocked out of the ball game. There were 2 on and 2 out. Blue Jays lead by a run. Thirds, he has given up 7 hits so far, 3 runs. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility, and he'll turn things over to Juan Cruz.
4 walks, all of them the last 2 innings. We saw Juan Cruz in last night's game come on to throw 2/3 of an inning, had a walk. Cruz has been awfully tough this year. 13 walks, 14 strikeouts. Let's take a look at this play. All the way down, Brian Butterfield to get a good read on that throw into second base.
Hill had a full head of steam going around third. Rivera with the double, his second hit of the night. JP Arancibia, 2 hits and a 2-run homer in his last at bat. Big insurance runs at second and third. Part of the order due up for Tampa Bay in the top of the ninth.
Cruz has been a very reliable reliever for Joe Maddon's team this year. He's pitched him in a couple of different situations. He's closed the game. He's pitched in the 7th inning. He's also been an 8th inning guy. But what I like about him is his first batter efficiency. He has come out of that bullpen throwing strikes.
First batter's just 1 for 13 against Cruz.
And cut her down and away, right on the borderline. Frank Francisco is ready in the bullpen. Ricky Romero is the pitcher of record. Mark Zepchinski worked at the 8th inning, gave up a solo home run. Three and one. Eric Thames is on deck. Thames has had a hit. He's walked and struck out.
And no lefty in the pen warming up, so if Aaron Sebia gets on, he'll face Cruz.
That's a foul ball, just bounced outside the bag of third. Aaron Hills at third base. He walked with 2 outs, went to third on the double by Juan Rivera. J.P. Arencibia, 2 for 3. His 7th home run of the season came in the 7th inning. Good cut at the breaking ball. That slider down and away. Arencibia spoiled a pretty good pitch.
He's had some good at-bats the last couple of weeks. The Verlander no-hitter comes to mind. It's a tough pitch right here. Cutting slider down and away, just enough to get off the bat on the ball and keep his at-bat alive.
Good swing. That ball right out over the heart of the plate.
Cruz knows he got away with one right there. He wanted that one down and away, and it floated over the middle of the plate. I don't think he's going to throw him a fastball.
Wade Davis went 7 2/3. Right now he trails 3-2. The 2 runners are Davis's responsibility. Cued off the end of the bat. A lot of spin on that ball. Cruz recovers in time to get Arencibia. He made it interesting, but Cruz is able to hang in there to retire. Arencibia will go to the 9th. Frank Francisco will come on, trying to protect a 1-run lead. Hello, Speed Boost. Goodbye, waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
Blue Jays have turned 49 double plays as a team now. This one was slow developing, but it helped Ricky Romero to get into a groove. Turned in the middle of the diamond with that very strong arm by Escobar. Ricky Romero would take it from there and retire the next 8 batters before giving up a home run to Upton. The middle of the diamond looking very strong tonight.
The closer Frank Francisco comes on, trying to protect this 1-run lead. Francisco is 4 of 5 in save opportunities. He's worked in just 11 games, started out the season on the disabled list.
Last time we saw Frankie was 3 days ago in Detroit, where he picked up his 4th save against the Tigers. Gave up a home run that inning to Johnny Peralta. Also had a walk. And first batter he will face is Evan Longoria.
Tough part of the Rays lineup. Longoria, Joyce, and Upton. 3, 4, and 5. Francisco has held righties to a 0.77 batting average. They're just 1 for 13 against Francisco. Hit a mile high behind shortstop. Escobar out. Longoria is retired. Tonight on Sportsnet at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Sportsnet East, you'll be entertained with Connected. Connected will also be on Sportsnet Ontario, and then at 10 o'clock Sportsnet West, it'll be the Brewers at the San Diego Padres, and Sportsnet Pacific, the San Francisco Giants and the LA Dodgers. Always a great rivalry, so a lot more baseball action coming up. Matt Joyce swings at the first pitch and lifts it into center field. Davis is there. 2 outs.
Scary hitter, Matt Joyce. The way he has been swinging the stick, not wasting any time. He knew he was going to get a fastball from Francisco. He just hits it to the biggest part of the ballpark.
B.J. Upton's had a good night at the plate. A solo home run, his 7th. He also singled in the 2nd. Pops this one up. Could be playable over by the Blue Jays dugout, and it falls on the warning track. Nix and Aaron Sebia couldn't get their signals together. One of them's got to make that play.
One of them has to take control right there. Both of them had a long way to go, but watch them look at each other, both at the last second, and they give up on it. Somebody has to take control and make the play. It's the manager's reaction.
Especially with such a dangerous hitter like B.J. Upton.
He's already homered tonight. Francisco has to gather himself now. Not let that bother him.
And you know B.J. Upton knows he got an extra life. 2 outs. Top of the ninth.
If you're going to throw the fastball, keep it up. He's got some juice. 94, 95.
Some high cheese right by Upton. Rays down to their final strike. High fly ball, center field. Davis is breaking it down in front of the warning track. The Blue Jays win it. Frank Francisco retires the side in order. Big night for Juan Rivera. He had a home run and a double. J.P. Arencibia with the decisive 2-run homer that came in the 7th. He now has 7 home runs on the season.
Ricky Romero, the winning pitcher.
That's the start of the game for me. He came out and he established his fastball early. He was in attack mode all night long. Really just gave up the home run to Upton, and that was his only mistake tonight. A couple of walks, 6 strikeouts, but it was Romero who set the tone tonight.
Blue Jays splits a 2-game series, and we'll be back tomorrow night. Houston Astros in town. Stay tuned right now. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn, Jays Connected coming up next.